Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna do a very interesting book that I love, and it's called Atomic Habits. And the reason why I love this book is because I have constantly struggled to use science and psychology to overcome my habits so that I can improve. I'm a big self-improvement person because I believe in making tiny improvement and making my life more productive and achieving my goals. But in James Clear book, there are very interesting findings that I never thought of doing. And it really helped me personally to change some of my habits because the methodology that he introduced were very effective. And this is really why the reason this book, Atomic Habit, is one of the bestseller now on Amazon and Kindle. And if you're an Amazon Prime, I think you can get it for free, unlimited Kindle reads. Or you can simply go and grab this book at any of your bookstore, or just simply click on the links below for Amazon and read a little bit of it. So today we're gonna cover how people have changed their habits using this book. And it surprised me that by just tweaking and changing a little bit of my habit, I have become a much more productive person, and it's literally life-altering because of these small changes that I made using his book. And in this video, I'm going to summarize 4 things that he talks about so that if you don't have time to read it, you can just watch this video. It's less than 10 minutes. Tiny small habits can change your life, and I'm going to summarize some of the key ideas. And the reason why this book is so good is because he uses evidence from psychology and neuroscience, and he gives very practical examples on how you can change your tiny habits. And we're gonna focus on the 4 main points. Point number 1 is called what James Clear, the author, called 1% rule. Point number 2, it's very controversial, is called forget your goals. Point number 3 is how you visualize your identity, who you are and what are your values, and then work towards what you want so that your habit sticks. And I think the main thing about Atomic Habit is that it really helps some of the bad habits that I have go away permanently. So it's not something that I do for 1 week and 2 weeks. It's something that I actually have a way to continuously play this game where I'm a more effective person. So the 4 main points of Atomic Habit. Point number 1 is the 1% rule, and this is in a simple form, is the fact that we underestimate what a tiny change can make in the long run compared to making big changes. For example, you might sign up for the gym, buy dumbbells, decided to change your diet drastically, read a book, and then in 3 months time it all goes back to normal because you make big changes, but the smaller changes are the ones that make a big difference. Imagine and the important thing is that his time is a component of it. So imagine time as a magnifying glass. Time magnifies your good tiny habits and then make it pay off over long run. But time is also your enemy, according to James Clear in Atomic Habit. When you have bad habits and errors every day, it magnifies it and make it a lot worse. So for example, if you are not eating good food and have a good diet, you do fast food and really bad stuff into your body, once in a while is okay, but as it accumulates and compound over time, that is when your health really deteriorates. So time magnifies all this stuff, and habits take time to grow. So make a small change but keep it very consistent over a long period of time. And the reason because why we drop off a lot in making habit stick is because we have this period of disappointment. In the book, he says this period of disappointment is when we have done it over a period of time before it hits a threshold. So we gave up before we hit the threshold. So you have to make a tiny habit stick for a time until it reaches the threshold, and then you'll see the payoff, because good habits often don't show up with results that you want. For example, a good diet, or having good clean and healthy food, reading every day for 10 minutes, exercising. In 3 to 6 months, you probably don't see the result, but over a period of 6 months, 12 months, depending on what kind of habits you're creating or results, it pays off. So in his book, he emphasized that you should keep the 1% tiny habit for a period of time and then hit the threshold, because habits actually pay off in an exponential manner. So it's like that, and then it goes up. That's when you see the payoff and the results. So don't give up on making changes on your tiny habits, because it takes time to compound. It's a bit like an investment. It takes time to compound and see results. So habits have exponential way of giving you results. In the short term, you're not going to see results, but don't give up, but make tiny changes. Number 2 for Atomic Habits by James Clear is that you should forget your goals, which is so surprising. And in a very simple manner, and to summarize it, is that if you just focus on your goal, for example, I want to lose 3 kilograms and I want to get rid of my tummy fat. And what happened after you get rid of your tummy fat in 6 months, 12 months? You go back to your old habits, and then a vicious cycle began. Or you have a budget of saving money, and then suddenly you reach that budget, and then what? You go back to your bad habits. So the thing is not to focus on the goals, but to focus on the incremental results that you're making, the tiny processes and systems. So every day, what are the systems and processes in place that you design in your life that makes it easy for you to make improvement every day? For example, if you're having a budget for investment, having 2 separate bank accounts, so taking the money away once it comes in really helps. Or if you want to have a better diet, making it easy to access healthy food like cereals, nuts, making them available. So focus on designing processes and systems to change your life instead of focusing on the goals, because the goal is like an end game. So once you reach your goal, you drop off. But if you have system and processes, you can keep playing the game. So that is number 2. If you'd like to know how you can build processes and systems to design a better life, I have another video coming up for it. Today we're just focused on talking about Atomic Habit in a summary form. So remember, give yourself enough time to build a habit, because before giving it enough time and reaching the threshold, you'll feel disappointed. Number 2 that I just spoke about is to forget about the goals, but to focus on developing systems and processes and make that tiny change every day instead of focusing on the big goal, because then it becomes consistent and it becomes part of your lifestyle. Point number 3 is to visualize your identity and not just focus on the outcome. For example, if you have had debt problem and you have a habit of spending, a lot of times it's not just about processes or forming a habit. It is about your belief system. So instead of setting a goal and making an outcome and then working towards what's the result, you should focus on what is your belief system and what is your identity, so that the habit actually becomes part of you and it becomes your belief system. A lot of times I see that whenever I get into debt, it's because of my belief system and my identity. So start to visualize yourself. What is it? For example, if you want to be healthy, visualize yourself and start to have a belief system that you are a healthy person and why do you want to be healthy. For example, if you are 50 years old, you might want to see your kids grow up and attend their wedding. If you are a very young 18-year-old, you might want to be able to play sports and run a marathon, and to be able to have the energy that you want throughout the day and not have fatigue. And if you're in your 30s, 40s, you might want to have a healthy body to achieve a lot of things. But visualize yourself, what is your belief system and why do you want to do it, have an identity. And for people who are investing or want to get debt free or get out of debt, get out of bad habit, why do you want to actually do that? What is your why and what is your identity? For example, to become get out of debt and credit card is because you want to have a peace of mind. You don't want to feel burdened. You don't want to have that second job or third job. and you want to be able to open up your credit card statement and feel at peace with yourself. And one of the things that in another book that Suzie Orman says is to repeat a mantra in front of the mirror and start to have a belief system and an identity. So then you work backwards to your outcome. For example, she say, I want to make at least $10,000 a month. I am young, powerful, and successful. And then you repeat this in front of the mirror every day for 10 times. And what you say becomes what you are. So have an identity or correct your belief system, mix with better crowd. If you don't have a crowd to mix with, join a community online or start to listen to successful people, influence your mindset, start to have a belief system that you can do this. Then your habit becomes part of that, and you become easier for you to form the habit and have that habit become sustainable. The reason for visualizing your identity is because you want to make your habit sustainable. How many of you have gotten out of that? Have a very nice credit card score, and then suddenly something hit and back into habit, and then getting back into debt. Is because of your belief system. You believe that by overspending or by spending on luxurious items or things that you don't actually need actually makes you feel better. But what you feel and what you can have goes back to your belief system. You can be a complete person without all this spending. Ask yourself, why do you want to one? And then this money, is it possible to save it for investing? Like, for example, I don't want to go to a $5 or $8 coffee every day. And what is it, my belief system, that makes me want to buy that $8 coffee? Is that, oh, I deserve it, I work very hard, I really need that $8 coffee to feel good for the whole day. So how can I change that belief system and still be happy and make this habit of not spending $8 a day on coffee sustainable? So this is the understanding of visualizing your identity and using your identity as a way to change your time. The last part of the summary of his book is the 4 fundamental signs of behavioral change, and this is very important because we are conditioned in such a way that we follow a certain pattern, and we have this part of our brain called the lizard brain or a monkey brain or whatever, and it behaves in a certain way no matter how hard we try. So understand that habits have 4 parts. It's cue, craving, response, reward. So cue meaning that whenever you see something and it triggers you. Craving is when you want it and you feel like you have to have it, like when I need my coffee in the morning, or when I'm stressed I drink an extra cup of coffee. And the response is that I go grab my coffee, and then reward is that I get this nice feeling of drinking my coffee. So how do you actually change a habit? According to James Clear, is that you should put fewer steps between you and the positive habits. So fewer steps between you and the positive habits, and a lot more steps between you and your bad habits. For example, to have a healthier lifestyle, I've decided to eat cereals and fruits in the morning as a porridge instead of unhealthy food that I've been taking, like my leftover burgers or fried stuff. So how do I make it obvious and make it easy? Is for the cue is that I already prepare it. So in the morning I just wake up, and then I use automation, and the breakfast is easily available. I don't have to make it. And coffee, I have an automated machine. So with SwitchBot, you can see on Amazon is a switch, so the coffee automatically gets done when I'm taking a shower. So you make it obvious is step 1. Number 2 is craving. So make it more attractive for yourself. The reason why we have certain habits is because it's stress reducing. Whether we are listening to music, procrastinating, we are trying to reduce the stress. Our brain takes us away from stress to protect us. So make your habit more attractive. When I was studying for my CPA, it was very hard because I have to spend extra hours on a weekend instead of going out. I work Monday to Friday, Saturdays, and my free time is spent on studying my CPA. So how to make it more attractive when I was a CPA student was that every CPA study session I make it a group event, so people are studying with me, making notes and stuff, and I watch a movie after that or do something nice. So then there's dopamine that going for this is attractive. So I have a very nice coffee machine that's automated, and I use automation. I love it that a lot of it can be automated using Alexa on Amazon, and that makes it attractive because it's very fun when someone is making coffee for me in the morning. I mean, the machine is automated. So ask yourself, what is your dopamine and what makes it attractive for you to save $100 extra every month. And we are always trying to compare our results to our peers or compare our results to our previous month's performance. So make yourself stars. Just tell yourself if you have improved over the last month and make it easier for you. Okay, then the third part is response. So make it easy for you to do it. For example, not to drink coffee outside at $8 or $6 or even sometimes $3 at Dunkin' Donuts, is to make it easy. So I wake up, I don't have to grind my coffee powder, take my cup out. Everything is there, and the coffee comes in very easily, and it has the same taste. So make it easy for you to achieve that step. If you want to save $100 a month, make it easy by not hanging out with friends who always spend $100 on a meal on weekend or drinks. If you're not with those cues, you wouldn't end up spending so much money at dinner. So if you're with people who love coming to your house for dinner, you can cook. Meal prep is something that I find very effective from eating out too often, because the meals are already available. I don't have to do a takeout, and that really helps it and makes it easy for me to save money and have a healthier lifestyle. The last part of this video is reward. Immediately be rewarded. Our monkey brain or lizard brain needs to be immediately rewarded. This is the reason why going onto social media is so addictive, because it immediately rewards your brain and gives you dopamine, and it makes you feel great. So ask yourself, what is the immediate reward that you give yourself every time you do that habit? If you want to read 10 minutes a day, make it easy. So I use an app. I use two apps, Audible and another one to read. I put the link below, and that makes it easy for me to read. I have a cue, which is a reminder that tells me I should read. I makes it attractive to read because the app makes it very easy for me to, sometimes when I'm walking to Whole Food or a supermarket, and I just put on my airport, and then I'm listening to the book instead of reading it, and then I get immediately rewarded by writing it down that I achieved my goal, and I give myself a star and give myself a little chocolate. So be immediately rewarded that you read something, and have a group of people to cheer for you, or join a book club. Watch something that encourage you to read if reading is your goal. Or if you like to exercise more, be around people who influence you to do that and they are making progress. I would suggest against looking at people who are overly successful, because that can discourage you and make you think that you'll never get there. I would follow people who are making similar progress as you, step by step, and then you're gonna see that you're making progress together with them and feel encouraged. So there are different kinds of science behind this. I hope you like this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. It really helped me. Go check it out. Bye. If you like this, subscribe, and the links are below. I want you to be rich.